There was a time when my mind was sharp, focused, alive. I could sit with a thought, follow it to the end, and feel a kind of quiet satisfaction in simply being present with it. But somewhere along the way, that ability died. Now my thoughts flicker like broken glass, scattered, sharp, and impossible to hold. I scroll, I switch, I multitask. I consume 1,000 pieces of meaningless noise before breakfast. And by the time the day begins, I've already lived 100 lives inside my phone. My mind became fragmented, not broken in a dramatic way, but fractured by a million small distractions. And if you're honest, yours probably has too. The silent collapse of attention. We live in the age of mental entropy. Every notification, every ping, every scroll, it's not harmless entertainment. It's microfractures in your ability to focus. You can't think deeply anymore because your brain is always bracing for the next hit of novelty. You open one tab to work, 5 minutes later, you've drifted through social media, videos, texts, and end up wondering why you feel so tired before doing anything. It's not just distraction, it's dissolution, a slow erasing of your inner world. You've lost your mental center. You no longer live inside your own mind, you live inside everyone else's. We used to have internal silence. Now we have internal noise. Constant, overlapping, relentless noise. The kind that kills creativity, depth, and peace. The fragmented mind is a fragmented identity. When your attention is fragmented, your self becomes fragmented too. Every time you switch tasks, every time you move from one app to another, you are shifting identities. The version of you watching a motivational clip is not the same version that scrolls through memes or texts and X. You are dividing your mind into dozens of microselves, each with different impulses and desires, and they are all fighting for control. That's why you feel inconsistent, why you can't commit, why your goals dissolve faster than your dopamine. Because you are not one person anymore. You are a crowd pretending to be one. The emotional cost of mental fragmentation. It's not just mental fatigue, it's emotional exhaustion. When your attention is split, so is your sense of meaning. You can't feel deeply anymore because your emotions are constantly interrupted. You can't process pain, or love, or joy, because every few seconds you're pulled into another mental universe, and slowly, the mind forgets what it feels like to be still. You begin to confuse stimulation with fulfillment. You mistake motion for progress, noise for clarity, information for understanding. You scroll to feel alive, but you're really just numbing the pain of disconnection. The spiritual dimension, you lost touch with the present. The fragmented mind isn't just unfocused, it's spiritually bankrupt. You've stopped existing in the present moment. You live in loops of thought, reruns of memories, echoes of what ifs and what nows. Every scroll, every distraction pulls you 1 inch further away from the truth of existence. This moment, you don't need more information, you don't need more routines. You need to remember how to be here. Presence is the antidote, awareness is the cure, not mindfulness as a trend, but mindfulness as a way of remembering yourself. Because your attention is your life. Where your attention goes, your soul follows. Reclaiming wholeness, how to fix your fragmented mind. Fixing your mind isn't about productivity, it's about integration. Becoming one again. Here's where I began my recovery. 1. I stopped multitasking. The lie of modern life is that efficiency means doing more things at once. But the mind is not a machine, it's a garden. And gardens don't grow when you jump from seed to seed. They grow when you give each plant time, attention, and care. Focus on one thing, even if it's small, even if it's boring, it will retrain your brain to stay. 2. I built silence into my day. Not meditation apps, not background noise, silence, actual silence, because silence is the gym where attention trains. It's uncomfortable at first, but eventually it becomes a sanctuary. 3. I started journaling my thoughts, unfiltered. Not for motivation, but to gather the scattered pieces of my inner world. Writing forces your mind to slow down, to make order out of chaos. And every page you fill, you take a little piece of yourself back. 4. I removed the cheap dopamine triggers. I didn't quit my phone completely, but I made it boring again. I deleted the apps that turned my brain into a slot machine. I made access to noise difficult. The more friction you build between you and distraction, the more control you regain. 5. I gave myself long stretches of undisturbed time. Deep work isn't just about focus, it's about repairing identity. When you stay with a single thought for long enough, you remember who you are. You reconnect with your essence. You feel whole again. The inner battle. The hardest part isn't the distraction itself, it's the withdrawal from it. The moment you start reclaiming focus, you'll feel restless, bored, empty, because silence will force you to face what distraction was hiding. The pain you buried, the doubts you ignored, the truth about how much time you've lost. And that's where real healing begins. Don't run from the discomfort. Sit with it. Let it hurt. It's your fragmented self trying to come home. The integration phase. Every day, I try to live more slowly, to think one thought at a time, to speak when I mean it, to listen when someone talks, to feel my breath, to taste my food, to exist like my attention actually matters, because it does. The world profits from your distraction, but your soul grows only in your attention. Every moment of awareness you reclaim is a piece of your life you take back. And slowly, your fragments begin to merge, your thoughts align, your emotions stabilize, your purpose sharpens, your mind becomes whole again. You can't build a powerful life with a scattered mind. You can't achieve mastery while living in fragments. Your attention is your power. Your focus is your freedom. And the moment you decide to protect it, you stop being a slave to the noise and start becoming the architect of your consciousness. The truth is simple. You were never broken, just divided. And your job now is to return to yourself, piece by piece, breath by breath, moment by moment, until one day you sit down, look at your life, and realize you are no longer a collection of fragments. You are whole again.